For the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Nigeria has been having challenges that are beckoning and waiting for answers and solutions. That is why we are bringing to you our program, State of the Nation. And this is going to come up on our flagship program this morning on ITV. I am hereby inviting you to join me, Bola Bakare, your host, on State of the Nation, so that we can hasten the motions that brings national development. It's going to be a regular basis on Tuesdays. Make it a date with me. I'll be there waiting for you, and then we shall discuss Nigeria on an holistic level. On State of the Nation brief this morning, we shall be taking care of what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks. And that is the element of youth entrepreneurship. We are doing this because our teeming youths, the leaders of tomorrow, the shapers of our tomorrow, they need to get engaged. Because once they are engaged, things will move properly, and then we'll be able to fashion the development that Nigeria needs. Little wonder the name of the program says it all. State of the Nation, where we hasten the motions for national development. If you had been with me for the past 2 weeks, we were particular about what to do for our teeming youths. And there is that need for our youths to become entrepreneurs, not just entrepreneurs, to go into entrepreneurship. Let me give you an insight into what entrepreneur and entrepreneurship is. For you to be an entrepreneur, you have to, as an individual, decide within yourself what you want to do in a particular chosen field. Did you hear me right? Individually, you do to yourself, choose your own chosen field, and don't let anything stop you in achieving it. And entrepreneurship is the same thing as entrepreneur, but with a little added value. And that added value is, in an entrepreneurship, you as the individual will bear most of the risk involved in achieving that aim of yours. And at the same time, the good part of it is you are going to bear most of the rewards. So basically, don't think about the risk, don't think about your sleepless nights or whatever you're going to do in the interim. Think in terms of the rewards you're going to accrue therein. That is why I would like to show you this once again. What we've been going through. The 5 pointers in this series that we have of youth entrepreneurship. You will soon see that those are the 5 pointers. The first one, which is sports as youth entrepreneurship, we dealt with that a fortnight ago. If you missed it, go on YouTube. You will get the feedback mechanism later. Go on YouTube, you can access it. The second, entertainment as youth entrepreneurship. We did that last week. And this week, we shall delve into ICT as youth entrepreneurship. In actual fact, life in itself, as we speak, is all about ICT. What is ICT? Let me give you a brief about what metamorphosed into ICT. There is what is called IT, and there is ICT. They are about the same thing. It's just ICT is a development, is a development on IT. When you talk about IT, you're talking in terms of creating, managing, and storing tech. But when we talk about ICT, the element of communication comes in. That is the C in it. So ICT is an all-encompassing phenomenon that every Nigerian youth should key into, because that's the way the world is going these days. And what we're trying to do, the advice we're trying to give to you, we tend to lay across, is the fact that ICT is one of the best ways you can go out on your own as an entrepreneur in entrepreneurship and make it on your own, bearing the risk and then having the rewards. Like we normally do. What we do is we'll set mentors for you Who are the people that have made it out of ICT? But what we do is this. We do not dwell on the millions, the people, the billions the people in ICT have made. Let us look at where they started out from. Let me start from the big names of ICT. Let me start from the man who's closer to you in age. I'm talking about Mark Zuckerberg. Don't think about all the billions he has now. Let's think about where he started, because that is where I want you to think about and then work with. Zuckerberg started Facebook when he was an undergraduate, a student in the university. He thought of, okay, we're all here, we're all friends. What are we going to do? How can we be friends without all of us coming together in one place? He now created Facebook. A situation where you are my friend. Every one of you knows how to use Facebook these days. You are my friend. I see your face. I can send you a message. You can resend another one to me. We can go in a loop. He started that while he was still in the university. When he found his calling, he left university. Because one thing about university education is this. University education is specialization. And once he found his own specialization, he moved out of it with friends, and then the rest is history, as you know. From the way he started out from the university, that's what I am particular about. He did it on his own with a couple of friends. He had that element of entrepreneurship, bearing all the risk himself, and the rewards is what every one of us can see as we speak. That is what I want you to do. Let me lay somebody else across. It's a big name too. Bill Gates. He made it in ICT. He got a few friends together. They developed personal ideas. And to you who are teaming youths out there, today's program is not for somebody who hasn't gone to school at all. You need to have gone to school enough to maybe primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, because you need to understand this for you to be able to sit down and then put a program together. But I'll say this again. For you that is on the street, they call you bookworms, or the modern word for it is nerds. They call you a nerd. In my own time, we call somebody who's very good with his books, we call them bookworms. But these days, you're nerds. I want you to sit back. The first two series we had, the first series dealt about sports as youth entrepreneurship. You as a nerd, you don't want to run, you don't want to fight, you don't want to box, you don't want to do anything. You want to sit down with your book. This is the one for you. The second series dealt with entertainment. You can't sing, you can't do this, you can't entertain anybody. The only entertainment you have is in your head. ICT, this one is for you. So what I'm saying here is, you that can sit there and put on your glasses if you use one, and do all your sporting and entertainment is in your head. You can sit back, put together your brain, and then you move ahead from there. Let me cite you examples of people who moved ahead from there without thinking in terms of, where am I going to get the billions of capital to go into it? You don't need the millions to go into it. All you need, God has already given it to you, which is your brain. Let me cite you instances that you know. Uber is a program by someone like you. He doesn't own a taxi. He doesn't even own a car. But he was able to put together a program where you can pick up your device, call a taxi, and then use the taxi, pay, and that is it. And he gets his own cut from that, because the program is his. It's patented to him. It's his own patent. That is what I am talking about. I want you to have your own patent and then be able to live from it. That is the essence of what they call these days working from home. You are working from home in your brain. So also others like that. You talk about Taxify, you talk about Bolt or this and that. Those are programs that were written by somebody like you. You've heard of BNB. The guys that wrote the program, they don't even have an hotel or an aircraft or this or that. They don't own anything. All they own is the enabling, what makes it work, what makes it easier for people. They wrote the program that became an app that you and I can access. And while we are using the app, they are busy making their millions. They don't make pennies, they are making millions. That is where I want you to be. That is where you, that is a nerd, that doesn't have, you're not interested in sports, and then you are not in entertainment, this one is for you. It's a money spinner too. So please go into it. Let me cite you some other instances in the financial world. There is one they call Flutterwave. If you've ever had somebody send money to you from outside, that is what we call FDI, foreign direct investments. If somebody's going to send you $100, probably it's going to use a medium to send it to you. The fintechs are the ones that access that. They take the money from your uncle or sisters out there, make sure you get it here. The moment they are rendering a service, they are getting their own cut. They are making a living. You can key into that too. Thank God for things like most of you these days, you use the social media to do your businesses. That is fine. But most of the things we use, like the Twitter, the Facebook, were things written by some other people for us to key into. I am looking at, I am envisaging, I am dreaming of situations where you, our teaming youths, you know that word teaming means there are many of you, there are many brains, a lot of brains here in Nigeria. Let's use that and start coming up with apps that will make not just money for you, will make life easier. Lately, in Adekunle Ajasin University, 3 students came together and gave us a robotic dog. I was real happy for them, because that is the way to go. With a robotic dog, you don't have to feed it. All you need is to service it. It's not scared. You don't fall in love with it as you fall in love with your dog. And you cry when you lose it. This one goes out there within your compound. I'm happy they're going to improve on it. Go there within your compound. The eyes will scan, will feel, will see, will sense, will do everything a dog can do and much more. If a dog sees a thief, the dog cannot remember to talk to you about it because dogs don't talk. But this dog, this robotic dog, will make a recording and tell you anytime you want. That is what I am particular about. That is what I am talking about. That is what you can do. Not just for yourself, for the whole world. It's a global thing. And let me add an advantage here. Lately, Central Bank says they are going to put up funds in a grant in excess of 500 million to institutions that can come up with things like this. And now I am on alert. I am waiting for CBN to go look at those gentlemen at Adekunle Ajasin University with their robotics and then make do with the promise of a grant that they made. Of the 500, it was trickled down, 150, 100, 50, and thereabout. So my dear brothers, my dear kids out there, it's high time if you do stuff like this, the trio from Adekunle Ajasin, get across to CBN. There is a grant there for you that can improve on that, your dog. I am waiting for it too. We have a feedback mechanism that you can see out there. Whenever you're doing it, if you have any itch along the line, let us know. The media is always there to put forth what you want so that everybody can see it. And the man that doesn't see it can key into it. If you're not getting across to CBN, get across to us via the feedback mechanism, and then we will make it public. If you can't walk up to their offices, we can get across to them via the media. And that is one thing I am saying you can key into. Also, don't be shy of doing things. Do not be shy of doing things. There is one word. I want you to believe it. If you can dream it, you can do it. You have the talent from God. It is your own prerogative, your entrepreneurship that is going to make you use that talent, that dream, and achieve what you want. Some of you called me old school. Yes, I am old school. You're the new school. Make sure you use your brains from where you are to get things done appropriately, not just for yourself, for the nation. And like I've been saying, we've talked about the third factor, which is ICT. The fourth series, which is for next week, will deal on agro-business as youth entrepreneurship. All I want you to do is to get set for it too, because I will be there waiting for you to link up with me, and then we move ahead and make you, our teaming youths, ready for entrepreneurship and the next level.